they think they have good food there, you know. They have very. I did an article in the Straits Times where I said, I think I posted on my Instagram. I said that Singapore food is like a less good version of Malaysian food, and I think that triggered them a little bit. So I'm under a lot of fire on the internet right now from Singaporeans. But it's true, right? You know, Singaporean food. Ugh. So happy to be here. Happy to be here.
Great. Nigel, we're going to get the ball rolling very quickly. I understand that yesterday you had gone back to your hometown.
Hometown?
Which is
Kajang, yeah.
Kajang, hometown. How long have you spent away from Kuala Lumpur? When did you move?
2010. Moved to the US, 2010.
Okay. So my next question is, how's your bahasa? Still good?
Bahasa cannot.
Cannot really learn.
Even growing up, I didn't use that much Bahasa, right? I went to a Chinese school, I went to Chonghua. You know, so we all spoke Mandarin, maybe a bit of English. Bahasa we use, if you know, when I get into trouble on the highway, then that's the only time I use Bahasa to talk to the police. Abang, tolong. I actually got stopped last year I came back last year in Malaysia in March, and that was still lockdown, MCO was happening, right? And I didn't know, so I went from Montclair to on the SS15 or something. I didn't know there was you can only travel like 5 kilometers or something. So I got stopped by the police, and that's when I had to break out the bahasa, you know. Hey, settle, you know.
Next question, of course, what are your challenges and what has been your inspiration in creating the Uncle Roger character?
Challenges? I'm not having enough time in a day. My tour right now, every day I wake up, it's either I have a flight or I have a show. So I haven't had a break for like weeks now. Inspiration of Uncle Roger character, I think, you know, we grew up with this kind of person, right? This kind of ape, this kind of Asian boomer. If I explain it to a white person, I say it's an Asian middle-aged boomer character, but over here it's like a Chinese ape at the kopitiam, right? Sitting in their singlets, smoking at the chair, laying on the chair, you know. So that's the inspiration, and I kind of just improvised it on my old podcast. Kind of just came out with this character, and people seem to like it. It resonated with people, so I was like, okay, I think there's a life to this character. Let's try to bring it on YouTube or something.
Great. Okay, now for our friends from the media, please, if you have any questions, we have roving microphones on the left and on the right. So if you'd like to raise your hand and shoot away at your questions.
Yes.
Yeah, so you tour both in Asia and Europe, right? So how do you need to change how you approach the audience? Because like certain jokes the Asians will get, but certain jokes the foreigner won't get.
Yeah. I've toured Asia, Europe, America, Australia. So yeah, certain jokes. I have a joke about getting beat as a kid, and that works really well in Asia because it's very relatable, right? We still beat kids here in Malaysia. I know, the Gen Z people, the different generation. You guys look young. You get beat growing up? Yeah? Okay, so that works really well here. And then I have certain like more Malaysian observations that I only do in Malaysia as a little treat for my fans. I think I have a joke about, it's a nostalgia joke because that's what I lived here. I have a joke about Astro. And I just compare it with, I don't want to give too much away, but I just compare it with like how people have Netflix now, but in the old days you have Astro, and then you have this dish on the roof, and I remember when it rained, there was a no more TV for you. Remember that? You had the yellow dot on the screen, right? That was so shit back then. Can I curse on this? No? I don't think they write the shit in the Star. I remember the Star, there's an article about me. I don't know if the journalist is here, but this journalist, I podcasted, oh yeah, there's this colleague of yours, June H.L. Wong. She posted an article that's, for some reason, celebrating Michelle Yeoh, and then there's a 4-page article, the bottom half of page 4, she just tagged me on, and then she said, oh, Michelle Yeoh, another Malaysian guy who's quite famous is Nigel. And then she was just kind of complaining about how I'm not as successful as Michelle Yeoh. So I talked about that on one of the episodes of the podcast, you know. And did you talk to them earlier? Why are you guys here?
We were introducing you.
Oh, it's too much, man. How many people? These 3 people to introduce me?
Yeah, this was your opening act. So.
Yeah, crazy.
We were your opening act.
Yeah.
I think having a homeboy coming back touring the world, it's a big thing for Malaysian entertainment scene.
Yeah, you got Ronnie Chang, right? Henry Golding
Bonnie
to.
don't seem to relate us as a homeboy. I guess.
Oh yeah, I grew up in Australia. Fuck that guy. Who cares? Who cares, right? How was the opening act? Was it good? I should watch it. How did you say about me?
Michelle
Yeah.
did most of the work.
Anyone talk about my controversies and drama? You know, every interview they keep bringing that up. So if you could bring that up if you want. No, I don't care. I've got into trouble so many times on the internet. So do your worst.
We're used to it. We're built on controversy and drama, bro. So.
Oh yeah, I know, and it's good. You know, at least every time I get into controversy, I just feel very lucky I'm not Joe Low. You know, that guy is in a lot of trouble. Yes. Are we fans of Joe? No? Sensitive topic? I feel like tense. I feel they're tense. He made Wolf of Wall Street, you know? So if anything,
Yeah, he did well.
right? Some people embezzle money and don't date Miranda Kerr. So he's doing okay, you know? If you want to embezzle, you want to do something illegal, at least you have something to show for it. That's my take on Joe, though. Oh, I'm going to get in trouble now. The newspaper is going to publish this. The Xin Chu cheek poke is going to be like, Nigel, Joe Low
I
sympathizer.
think the China press is there.
China press. Oh, it still exists? 中国报, it still exists? Wow.
Maybe you can ask him something.
Yeah, up to you.
Yeah, China Press, you have a question? Is that you? Oh, that's not your. I just assumed right away because you started laughing. Okay, no. Okay, so let's jump in. Anybody has any other questions? From the left and the right, microphones are roving. Don't be shy.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah. Yes.
what are some of your more memorable experiences touring around the world, different countries?
I think it's definitely, the shows are great, and the people, I definitely remember the people. So touring in New York, I got to work with Esther. She's like a big chef based in New York. And then I also got to work with Joshua Weissman. He's based in Austin, but he was in Houston when we filmed together. So to see these people, I've only seen through the screen before and see them in real life. Because you watch someone in a YouTube video, you kind of don't know how tall they are. So every time I meet someone, I realize that, oh shit, you're either taller or shorter than expected, you know. So she has such a presence, but then you meet her, she's like this tiny little Korean woman. And then Joshua is quite a big guy. Gordon is a huge guy, yeah, Matt Gordon, that's a really cool thing. In Burbank, California in January, I was there, I was a special guest on Hell's Kitchen. So I met Gordon, and the other special guest in that episode was Tony Hawk. So I was a little bit starstruck as well. But then I was like, why'd you ask Tony? You know, he doesn't know anything about food. He's a skateboarder, Gordon. And might as well ask Jamie Oliver, right? If you get Tony Hawk there. So yeah, meeting the people that I've only seen through the internet is the most memorable thing.
Nigel, do you have any pre-show jitters or pre-show rituals that you do before each performance?
Pre-show rituals. Not really a ritual, I just make sure there's nothing stuck in my teeth, my fly is done, you know, that kind of thing. But jitters, not really. I'm more nervous for this than my show. Because I didn't know, I just woke up like, I don't know, half an hour ago. I thought it was going to be more chill than this, and then I walk in, everybody's like ready to ask me questions. But no jitters, because I feel like the material's there, you know, and I do what I do. If people don't like the stuff, there's nothing I can do to change it. It's kind of already faded to it, go well or not go well. There's not much I can do to change the outcome. And when people come to my show, especially like my tour shows, people know what I do, right? They probably see my YouTube videos before. So chances are they know what I do and they like what I do. That's why they're there. So the jitters, no jitters really.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, any other questions? We'll take one from the front and then
Yes.
the left after this. We'll do the lady first.
Yes. Before that, you are just doing YouTube, right? And then after that, you suddenly get famous. So how do you really feel being famous?
Being famous doesn't feel that different, you know. Sometimes I get stopped for photos more now in my life. It happens a lot in Uniqlo. Because most people who know me in Malaysia are like Chinese Malaysians, right? That's where they all go. Uniqlo. Jesus Christ, I love that shop. Every Chinese person, do you have a Uniqlo shirt? Yeah, see? By the way, but you're filming the whole thing? It's a bit weird, isn't it? Yeah? to talk to someone than to see your eyes. Sorry. The fame thing, it has nothing that much has changed really. I think I get recognized more, but sometimes getting stopped for photos. If I'm in a hurry somewhere, then I feel bad. Say sorry, no, I'm going to go somewhere. But usually I'm cool with it. Getting recognized is part of the reason I have a career, right? So I'm very grateful for that.
Amazing. We've got time for 2 more questions. We'll take one from the gentleman in the front.
Yes.
So I kind of ask, is there any parts of the Uncle Roger character that you have taken in as your own personality? And for a follow-up, is there any other characters you'd like to explore apart from just Uncle Roger?
Any parts of Uncle Roger I've taken as my own personality. I think it's the other way around. I think Uncle Roger is. I always describe Uncle Roger as who I would have become if I didn't leave Malaysia. In 20 years' time, that's who I would be if I. It's just the pure Asianness in me, right? And then for me now, I'm a mix because I've lived in a Western country, in Western countries for too long now, so I have to adapt to the society, the worst. Deal with their food allergies and veganism. Worse. Is it a big thing in Malaysia? Are people becoming vegans here? No, cannot lah. Bak kut teh is too good. Bak kut teh is too good. If you're a vegan, you go to a food court like hawker store. What are you gonna eat?
That's what.
The aunties there don't care. You can't. What are you gonna have just noodles and broth? Yeah. Anyways, Uncle Roger is the pure Asianness in me. I think so. I don't think he's influenced me as I think it's the other way around. And what's the second question? Probably not as to the extent of Uncle Roger. Maybe if I pursue some acting job, if I get an acting job, then you have to play that character in the script, right? But I think Uncle Roger still has a lot of mileage left in him because food is infinite, right? I haven't even started reviewing white people food yet, So that's gonna come. And then Asian food alone is infinite. There's still so many countries. I haven't done any Indonesian stuff, any Filipino stuff. So there's a lot of mileage to be left in there. And I think it's a character I still enjoy doing. So I'll keep it going, I don't know, for the foreseeable future. I don't know when I'll retire it yet. Maybe when I hit Uncle Roger's age, maybe when I turn 51, then it's time to okay, let's stop doing this because it's too close to home now, Yeah, thanks.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have time for one last question.
I have 2.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
My first question is, does Nigel Ng as Uncle Roger, does it annoy you people see you as Uncle Roger and not as Nigel Ng the comedian?
No, not really, because Uncle Roger and I share the same bank account at the end of the day, so call me whatever you want. But I mean, yes, more people know me as Uncle Roger now, but that's because the content I put out is mostly Uncle Roger stuff, right? So that's why I started the podcast. That's why I'm doing this tour to tell people I'm an artist in my own right as well. But to be honest, Uncle Roger is so much more accessible too, because I feel stand-up is still quite a Western art form, right? And I speak in this very neutral accent, I guess, and stand-up is just someone talking, right? Uncle Roger has his orange polo, he insults people, there's sound effects, there's so much editing. I think it's a lot more accessible. I like to think it's like, the analogy I draw is like, imagine if Rowan Atkinson, the Mr. Bean guy, did stand-up. Right? I think people still know him from Mr. Bean. It's just more universal. There's more of an appeal there, and I'm okay with that. Stand-up shouldn't be as broad as this Uncle Roger stuff.
My second question is a bit of a downer. Have you ever felt maybe I should have just stayed as a data scientist?
No. Well, now things are going okay, so now I'm like, yeah, great. I took a good risk and it paid off, but. I think there were moments when I went full-time stand-up in September 2019, right? And then 6 months later, we got COVID. That was rough, lost all the work. So maybe there are a few moments there where I doubted it. But I'm glad I took this risk, Data science was fun. I worked at a startup in London, but my stand-up started picking up, so I was taking too many holidays, too many days off to just travel somewhere to do a show, and then my bosses weren't very happy, so I was gonna be fired soon anyway. But I quit before I got fired. So tip for everybody: if you feel like getting fired, just put pen in your resignation.
And the last one, this is for the upcoming stand-up comedians in Malaysia. What is your advice for young upcoming stand-up comedians in Malaysia, and what does it take for them to take their career from Malaysia to the international stage?
Oof. That is tough, man. I think there's no one set path, you know. I think I'm lucky because I've always been a foreigner in the Western country since 2010, so I kind of was forced to adapt my jokes to a crowd who's not my home crowd. For Malaysian, I think the power of the internet, I think it's just you have to use the internet. You know, you put some stuff on, I don't know what TV channels are still here. TV guys, is that still around?
Still around.
Still around? You put stuff on TV, like, nobody can watch it, right? You get asked to do some TV stuff. It's the same thing in the UK. I've done some TV stuff in the UK on BBC, and then they have this online BBC channel online. It's called BBC iPlayer, I send this link. I did the TV thing. Everybody in the UK saw it. Some people in the UK saw it. Nobody watches TV there anymore either. But then I want to send the link to my parents back home in Malaysia. They click it, and then it's geographically restricted, right? This content is geo-locked. So I think if anyone wants to make it globally or outside of their own country, the only way is the internet, right? TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. But how to do that? I don't know, it's anyone's guess. The internet is infinite. Things that go viral, you know, you can have just someone nodding along to a song on TikTok and that gets like 10 million views, you know, teenagers dancing, that gets like 20 million views. I have no idea what goes viral these days. It takes a bit of luck, takes a bit of, I don't know, it takes a bit of like right place, right time thing. I think for the advice for the comic star, I think there are tons of really talented people here, and if you work hard, I think there's definitely space for you and there's a career in this.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Nigel. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much as well for attending this press conference this morning. Thank you for your time early this Friday morning. We'd like to get a quick group photo with
Of course.
Nigel and Michelle as well. So for the members of media, if you'd like to step up and snap your photos.